This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search from my site. This is Postmates Advanced Training. I am an unauthorized, self-declared trainer for Postmates. I tweet as I deliver, and I summarize in the evening with these videos. What I include in these videos is evolving based on comments from people who seem interested in Postmates or on-demand delivery. With this series of videos, I am soliciting people who might consider on-demand delivery to consider Postmates, and if you do, put my name as a person who referred you. If you're successful, I will earn a bonus. My screen is shared, and I'm going to go to Twitter. So the slight evolution, last night was at 30 minutes long, and it was too long for me, and I think it's too long for listeners. Whether it's long for listeners or not, I don't know. People are listening to these things in their entirety, but it is too long for me. So gave it some thought, and I'm going to click on my tweets, and what I'm going to spend more time doing is what I do when I'm not sure what to do. In other words, I come to realize that I'm disclosing my pay, so anyone that visits can figure out what I'm being paid from my Twitter page. For example, right there, 184 deliveries, 1384. That's my career-to-date numbers. Here's the daily numbers. Anyone who really wants to know what I get paid in order to somehow estimate how much they will make, all my information is here on Twitter. So in addition to that, the delivery by delivery tweets, also they're just redundant when I say this is what I did, then I did a Caesar salad, then I did buy clothes. That's what this picture is. So what I'm going to do in this video is attempt to keep it shorter than last night, and at the same time focus on what I did when I'm not sure what to do. In other words, there's really two pieces of time in Postmates, and that is when the app is telling me what to do, I do what the app says. When the app is not telling me what to do, in other words, I have idle time, or there's some anomaly, missing item, canceled order, this is what I think is not in the tweets, and then I'm going to try to do a better job of covering it. So here I go. This car scan crime was last night. So this is, no, that's 12 hours ago. I guess I did the bubble. No. This is my first one of the day. Gosh, I'm home late. This is 12 hours bubble tea. People outside of New York City, I don't know if bubble tea is a trend for you, but it is for us. So Beijing and New York, by my estimations, are the bubble tea capital of the world. I don't know where it comes from in China. I'm guessing Beijing. Okay, so things like this. This green tells what I get paid. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. Here's an order. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. In other words, there's detail here for people that want the detail. So go to Twitter and find it. But here's some of the things that's not on Twitter. This 9th Avenue, this has been canceled. So this was an anomaly, and this was a great Postmates event. I get there, and I immediately call. In 150 deliveries, I haven't done a lot of alcohol. 3 or 4 times maybe. As I sit here, I can only remember this being my second. And so I don't want to take liquor to a place and find out they don't have an ID. So I call in advance. Customer didn't answer. I called fleet support. Fleet support called, got back to me and said, yes, I talked to someone. It was a woman, and she has an ID. Great. Okay. In addition to that, in the meantime, I learned that the exact champagne that she wanted was not in stock. So I told fleet support that, and I said I would call the customer directly. That's the kind. I don't think there's hard rules on what fleet support does and what we do, but that seems to be consistent with the type of things I've done in the past. So, in other words, I try to call the customer first before involving fleet support. So I had done that on the I need an ID, but I had not done that on the champagne. So I kept the champagne. Within minutes, I'm calling fleet support again to say they didn't answer. Within minutes, I gave it about 8 minutes. And so I called fleet support a second time. They said, fine, we'll cancel. And within minutes, I had this message. So listeners, please don't overlook this. This felt great for me. I'm there. The ID thing got straightened out. The customer's not answering her phone about this out of stock with the champagne she wanted. And in a few minutes, fleet support has it canceled. This is relevant because when it gets canceled, I'm not open again until I swipe. And if I'm stuck trying to decide what to buy this person, then I'm not swiping. I'm not paying. And if I'm not paying, then the system thinks I'm occupied. I wasn't occupied. I was waiting for a customer who's not answering our phone. So without hesitation, fleet support canceled it, and I was back in the game. So I attempted to document this properly. 12:42, fleet support canceled. This is me. This is a sad screen. This is me being idle. I'm online. A click here would say I also have priority dispatch. Again, now I go into here, whatever that is, to burn time. And there we go. 59 minutes. I got another delivery. I could click there and find out what it is. 12:55. 12:42. 42 to 45 is 18 minutes is that's 13 minutes. 13 minutes. I'm back in the game. So again, listeners, fleet support got me back in the game without delay. I was very pleased. This is I'm sitting, I'm eating lunch, I accept this order, but I don't get moving on it right away. I discovered this text later. Tom, if you are far from Starbucks, pick a location that is still further, or please cancel so another Postmate can pick it up. Well, this person is trying to manipulate the Postmate system in her favor, his favor, I don't know which. A man answered the door. And basically, he or she is trying to get me, Tom Duty, off my ass and start delivering rather than finish my lunch. And I could not, I mean, if I wanted to finish my lunch, I had plenty of time, 59 minutes. I got a Starbucks within a block, and I've got them within 1-2 blocks, and I got 59 minutes. So I'm eating my lunch without feeling bad about it. So anyways, the rest of that was uneventful. These orders are if unavailable, cancel the entire order. So this is kind of a not real nice order as it got presented to me, but it ended up completing without negative event. When I take a picture of myself, it's usually an indication that I'm idle, and I'm not going to take the time to figure out how long. But no, this is huge. This is the building of the people that took the Starbucks. So now it's an absolute disaster. I'm going to go back here to this now that I understand what happened. right here, this red dot. For people who don't know New York, this is a bad place to be. For people who do know New York, this is why it's bad. All the restaurants, the heart of the business activity is not near the river. So I'm all the way over here, and I'm not going to get chosen to be closest to a restaurant because I'm not close to very many restaurants. The food comes from the middle of the island, not from the edges. So now this is a disaster, and here I sit. This is a product of being in Midtown on Sunday, and now I'm on the fringes. So what did I do? People who know New York, you can imagine this. People who don't know New York, I have option A, which I took, right down the river, beautiful, smooth, fast bike ride. Or I go back into the city, which gets me back in the game faster. I elected to go down the river because I wanted to be sure I got out of Midtown. I had already had an order or two canceled. I'm already having these gaps between. It's Sunday. I want to get out of Midtown. I want to get down here where it's more consistently active and there are more city share bikes. So I elected to go down the river, knowing my entire transit would happen without getting any orders. If I went all the way down by first going into the middle of the island and then down, I probably would never get down where I wanted to. I would be stuck in Midtown. Listeners, this is the biggest reason, one of the reasons I believe people quit this on-demand delivery is because it takes strategic decisions like this. In my case, I regret the one I did. I should have gone in. It takes too much time to understand why I regret that decision, but this is the kind of stuff that a lot of people don't like to do. They want supervisors to tell them what to do. We don't have supervisors. So I made an executive decision on my own behalf, and this creperie is another one. First order I got when I did get down where I wanted to be, and I get cash only. Call fleet support. She said, oh, I didn't know cash only. Well, it turns out it's a prepaid order, so somehow they let Postmates, look at the Nutella in the background, somehow they let Postmates pay over the phone, but customers that are in the store cannot pay by cash. Can't understand that. But anyways, that got reconciled with the help of fleet support. I was back in the game. And without delay, this is by Chloe, crazy long line. I was late, called the customer when I finally got her food to make sure she knows that I haven't been driving around lost with her food. She was great with it. Here's what she ordered, Caesar salad and so on. And avocado, this is juice press. It's very popular. That's the juice press there. And again, here's another one that was canceled. Go to Elephant and Castle and wait instructions. And I guess I didn't. That one got canceled, and I didn't get paid on that one because it got canceled so quickly. Murray's Bagels was one of my last ones. It might have been the last one. It was. And then here's my payout. So again, I've spent more time on saying what I get paid, but it says right here on Twitter. So again, I'm trying to cover some of these decisions that, quite honestly, they're a little bit stressful. And I think you, my audience, I think this is the kind of stuff you want to hear because you're faced with some of these same decisions. I divided this number by this number as my career-to-date deliveries, my career-to-date earnings, and it's $7.50. And this is my wife and I. This is my wife, Hannah, and we're at the Oculus, which is the new train station, the most expensive train station in the world at the moment. It'll probably hold that title for quite a long time. I understand it was $4 billion to build, and it is, whether it's worth every penny of it or not, I don't know. It is absolutely spectacularly and beautiful. Santiago Calatrava, a Spaniard, is the designer. I've been in 3 of his buildings now, one in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, this one here in New York City, and another one in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The man is brilliant, creative, talented, and wildly successful. To convince someone to spend $4 billion of their money, whoo! This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, a restful night's sleep. Ciao.